solar eclipse, that's good. Actually, I think playing Monster is kind of nice for recording, even though I hate Monster because, well, I'm not used to it anymore because I don't play as often at the moment. But, I get real used to playing on certain frames, and obviously recording drops my frames. Not super much, like, not poorly at all. I still run a decent 30 plus frames. I usually run like between 50 and 60 when I'm not recording. I think I have it capped at 60 or something. I don't, whatever. Not important. But when you record, you know, you're used to playing at a certain frame rate or just under certain conditions, and that becomes what's normal for you. And when I record, it's always, like, I always play, I don't want to say poorly, because it's not that I play poorly, or at least not poorly by my standards of how I play, but I always play not as well as I would necessarily like to. When I'm recording, because, like, the frames are just not what I'm used to. Like, I used to play on a consistent, like, 20 frames, and I got really used to that, before I got this computer. I don't know where I'm going. So playing a Monster, I don't really necessarily have that same pressure on me to do the play up to my own standards for myself, which, I mean, like, I don't know about you guys, but my standards for myself aren't super high. I'm just mostly trying to enjoy the game. I just happen to have been playing long enough to kind of be, you know, a decent player, at least a decent player in my opinion.
Try and break through this shield, monsters!
So, where was this? I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, being good playing as Monster, because I don't necessarily have to worry about the frames. This guy, get away from me. Really?
Don't let them near my torches.
I mean, I don't know if a Spiderling is necessarily worth that much effort to get. I could have easily poisoned him though, or just knocked him off. But whatever, to each their own, I suppose. As long as they're not, you know, hacking or being... Yeah! I'm just going to go this way. Hacking or doing some other stupid thing. Shouldn't have done that. You're not allowed to hear me screech like that, even though that's not really a screech or anything similar to a screech. I like to go Creeper, Destruction Creeper now, way more than Damage Creeper, because I think that there's a lot more value to Destruction Creepers, because sure they're not necessarily good at killing people, but killing isn't really the main goal of the game, at least as far as I'm concerned. You could not easily, and it's very unlikely to happen, but you could technically win a game without killing any players aside from players who are killed during the plague. It's entirely within the realm of possibility for the game. It's just very unlikely. So to me, killing isn't really important, as important to the game as capping the shrine. So I like to mess with defenses, or just make sure dwarves are out of position or whatever. And to me, that's where destruction creepers shine, they're good at A, knocking doors out of position, because obviously they have knockback to them, and B, damaging defenses. I mean, like, sure, maybe you kill a. I don't know if I've ever killed a dwarf as a destruction creeper, but yeah. That's also why I go impact skeleton and don't really go after people unless like there's no walls to break. I always focus on the defenses first as a monster because to me it's more important that dwarves aren't able to defend as easily than it is to just kill them as fast as I possibly can. So that's why I usually go impact skeleton and destruction creeper. Zombie I'll upgrade if I'm really feeling like it, or if like there's just nothing left to upgrade and I've been sitting at 500 mana for 10-20 minutes without realizing it. I'm like, oh, might as well do something with it. So let's see if I can get past these people. Oh, probably not. Maybe. Alright. That was pretty good. It was a little off on the timing, but... Oh, I should make sure I'm actually okay, I am recording. My frames just looked much better for a second. It's just like, oh god, I hope I'm recording.
Activate monster deflector.
Let's see. This is a nice spot. Well, that was awful of me. I told you, I'm not a good monster. I'm sure many of you are laughing like, why the hell would you do something like that? Don't know why I did that. Sucks for that guy being outside. So that's why I don't go to the end of these tunnels as a dwarf either, because to me, if I'm close enough to be knocked outside or something like that, I'm too close to, well, wherever it is I'm too close to. And also, like, the more people are out not near the shrine, the less people are near the shrine, and that could kind of get a little dicey at times. Though, when there's a lot of people at the shrine, that can also get dicey because it's very hard to roll proc. I like to say that a game full of veterans is a game full of people who are constantly in the way. Not to say that it's bad that they're in the way, and I'm sure many other people feel the same way, that there's just always somebody in your way. When you have a bunch of people who are really good at the game. Or at least, that's how I've always seen it. Like, not that I'm necessarily more deserving of getting a proc than somebody, it just seems like every time I have one, there's always somebody else who has one, or somebody else who walks in front of me at the perfect moment to kill my proc, which it's not the biggest deal in the world, or anything. But, yeah, a game full of veterans, a game full of people who are constantly in the way. I guess it's part of why I prefer smaller games with less good players, if only because it's one less thing to worry about. To me it's more fun not having to constantly worry about, losing a proc, getting a proc, losing a proc, getting a proc over and over again. I mean, like I said before, it's not really a big deal to do anyway. I mean, procs aren't particularly difficult to get most of the time. Ooh, somebody did a pretty bad thing. I'm willing to say that a good portion of that slab is in World Guard. Though, I mean, I am a creeper, so... Huh. Oh, why did I do that? I grossly overestimated how close I was to the shrine. Or maybe it was underestimated. I grossly estimated wrongly. Uh-oh. This is awkward. Roommates are back. They may be a bit loud. Coincidentally, I may also be a bit more quiet. But at any rate, well, we'll see how this goes. This might make this a bit more entertaining, depending on the circumstances. It also means I may have to completely scrap the footage, or cut out the poor parts. I cut out the parts that are not video friendly. But we'll see. I eat slabs for breakfast. What else is there to talk about? I'm really sorry, guys. I do this like every video. It kind of sucks. Like, there are times where I think about making a list of things to talk about, but are you serious? But I'm always afraid that I won't have enough to talk about, or no, that I won't have enough to talk about, and like each thing I'll spend like 5 minutes on. Like, I'll have 4 things I'll spend 5 minutes on each. That's only 20 minutes. If you have an hour-long game, that's, you know, a good 40 minutes you don't know what you're talking about. But next time I record, I'll probably think of a list of things to talk about. When I start that single-player series, it'll probably be much easier to talk about things, if only because it'll be single-player. I can talk about what I plan to do for that episode, and etc, etc. This, it's kind of like, well, I can talk about what's going on in the game, but that's only entertaining for so long and so many videos. Single player, you know, survival, I mean, as long as you're doing something a bit different each episode, maybe working on a build for a few or something to that effect, probably shouldn't be as bad. So we'll see how that goes once I get started with that. Maybe even this week. What this week means, we'll never know. Last time I said later this week was 2 months ago, coincidentally. Alright, let me just upgrade this zombie so if I feel like actually doing damage to people, I can. Oh, there's the ground. Let's see. Is there anything that's been going on in the subreddit lately? I mean, not really. It's been kind of slow the past few days. Based on where I'm recording this. Not to, you know, date the video or anything. There's a lot of cool maps that people are working on. It's always great to see people working on maps, like even the ones. No, I don't want to say this anymore. Well, even the ones that to me don't necessarily look the best. Like, it's great to see people putting effort into something and making something that they can be proud of. And I always try, give any map maker I see on the subreddit, good work, glad to, a good job on it, I try and be nice to that. I mean, I'm not being nice just to make them feel better. I'm being nice because I legitimately am happy to see them putting hard work into something that they can share with the community. And I don't want to be patronizing about it, because, they worked hard on it. And me saying, like, oh, your map sucks, or... I mean, criticism is fine, like saying, you should work on this, I don't think this is a good idea, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with that. But, saying things in a nasty or rude way, to me, just doesn't really... It's not really acceptable, especially when somebody's displaying something they put time and effort into creating. And I always try and... well, not to say that people are ever or always rude about people's, maps or whatever they worked on that they want to post on the subreddit. But I don't want... I want to have... People might not necessarily reply with super nice things to say. They might just kind of be like, cool. I like this, and leave it at that. Like, I kind of just like being, hey, awesome. It's awesome that you've done this. And I don't know, I think it's just important that people, to make sure people feel good about their contributions to the community, no matter how insignificant it might seem, or even how... So you don't want to say bad, because as far as... I mean, there's bad maps. I'll be blunt about it. There's bad maps, but if people are willing to put the time and effort into making something, and they're willing to display it to the community, it's worth responding positively to that. And I've been trying to avoid the word positive and positively for reasons, but I can't think of anything else. Just any other good word for that at the moment. But yeah, and I don't like when, people, even if they don't necessarily mean to be rude, I just really dislike when people are rude about stuff like that. Somebody shares an idea and they have this really snarky comment about it. It's just like, at least they're trying. The idea to you might seem stupid, it might seem stupid to me too, but it's important that they're trying to contribute something to the community, even if it's not a good idea or you just dislike it for whatever reason. So, I don't know, I always try and be at least one person who makes sure that people are feeling good about sharing things with the community, or at least I try to be. Maybe it's not. Maybe my attempts to do that are not successful, but that's what I try and do, at least. Not that other people don't try and do that. I'm shaking my hands in front of the screen right now, like, I'm not trying to say this. I'm not trying to, like, be like, oh, I'm the only person who does this, or blah blah blah. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Well, maybe I am accusing some people of some things, but those aren't specific people. Is that... What just... Okay. Yeah, I'm not accusing specific people of anything. I'm just kind of saying, I see things on the subreddit that people making comments on the subreddit that I disagree with, so I try and, you know, be a, what's the word, an opposing force to those comments. So somebody may have something a bit negative to say, and I try and say something positive instead. And it's something that I've tried to do even before, you know, issues regarding things like that were addressed, if that makes sense. Wow. I really hope I'm not sounding, you know, really egotistical or anything. I'm not trying to, I guess what I'm trying to say is I want people to feel welcome in the community, and I want people to be encouraged to contribute things regardless of how bad that thing might be. There's somebody knocking on the door. This might be a little awkward. Man, I really want to eat this popcorn. I can smell it. Oh, there's only 8 people left. Okay. And final is going down. Or was going down. What was I saying? God, I was saying something. Popcorn. Oh, I was talking about encouraging people to contribute to the community. So, yeah. I suppose that's all there really is to say about that. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound like I'm better than anybody. I'm not trying to sound pretentious or egotistical. That's just my thoughts on that whole situation, which is obviously been something that's been relevant in recent weeks and whatnot. So yeah. This game's probably gonna be over soonish. I really hope you can't hear that music that my roommates are playing. Or me, like, scratching my beard. Yes, I currently have a beard. Not because I want to, but because I am too lazy to shave. Actually, there's videos of me scratching there's videos of, not like videos of me, but videos where I've been in calls with people of me scratching my beard. And that's about it. So, like, I will not link you to that for reasons.
Venom burners! Stay near the light, Dwarves. They equal your ale of the darkness!
By the way, the reason I'm not saying GG to most people, the reason I'm not saying GG to most people, except for heroes, this game, is, because I'm recording, and saying, like, I try and say good game to, pretty much everybody that I see die. Sometimes I don't notice it because I'm just in the heat of the moment or something, but I try and say GG to everybody that I notice die as best I can. But I don't do that when I try not to do that when I'm recording because it just takes time, and I can't really type and talk at the same time. I really hope you guys can hear this. Alright, that's the game. I hope this wasn't a super boring episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.